Microsoft are integrating GPT-3 into Teams, Office, Bing, basically everything. Gatsby's been acquired, and Notepad, which was built in 1983, now has tabs. That's only 40 years. All this and more in SSW Tech News. I'm Adam Cogan. Let's get into it. So the first news, every piece of news from here on in has to be about ChatGPT. We even have a whole bunch of new rules on SSW rules. Now, Microsoft have announced, they're the big investors, that they are powering Bing with it now. And if you remember last month, I had no clue what was going on, but I said that it was going to be likely you'd see in Microsoft products. And I was thinking way down the track that, you'd have another tab like you have search and images and news. There'd be another one that said ChatGPT or something like that. It is a bit different than that. In fact, it's probably even better. So you can sign up for Bing now and you'll get this, and you could say, plan me a workout for my arms with no sit-ups, because I hate sit-ups, and I have no gym equipment. What can I do? And it will just give you a workout. Now you'll get your normal results here, but on the right-hand side, it will say, sure, I can help you with that. This is what you can do. Warm up doing this and do 3 sets of this and see more, and you'll see a whole lot more. Now, let's go and have a look at some of these, because now I haven't signed up on this computer. This is the SSW TV computer, but this is the experience that you'll do. Join the wait list, and let's just say I have to throw a dinner. I've got 6 people, for 6 people, and they're all vegetarian. Sounds like fun. Can you suggest a 3-course menu with a chocolate dessert? That's very funny. I laugh because my daughter is a vegan, not a vegetarian, a vegan, and she's holding a party, and she's got, I think, about 50 people coming, and we're all going to be subjected to the vegan menu for the night on a boat. Should be fun for all the people that haven't eaten that type of food before. Now, here's the answer. Sure, I can suggest you a 3-course menu with a chocolate dessert for a vegetarian party. Here's some options, and it gives you, you can cook this wild mushroom tartlet and some vegan butternut, and here you go. So, all right, next one. Well, this is just related. Google, they have a product called Bard, and they didn't do a very good presentation. It's funny how fickle they can be. Like, a dodgy presentation can cause $120 billion devaluation on a company. It's yes, you got to do some testing. Live stuff is never fun. All right. So anyway, I wouldn't worry about that. I'd worry about the long term. I'm sure it'll be good, and they'll be both pushing each other. In fact, what it will mean for us is more work, because we're going to have to know both and when one is better than another. Okay. Next news. Okay, I should mention this for the .NET language. We always care about what language is being supported. Back in 2017, there was a blog post that outlined, Microsoft, if you're doing F#, you're supported. If you're doing VB, .NET, you're supported, blah, blah, blah. They've now moved that blog post into Microsoft Learn. This is a much better idea, by the way. And it basically says the story with C# and the story with F# and VB. Now, there is even more information than this, like which has long-term support, which versions of .NET have long-term support, etc. So there's a whole story behind this. But there it all is. Everything can be found in Microsoft Learn now, which is a good thing. Next feature, or next piece of news, we now have roadmaps in GitHub projects. Now, if you remember some history, we had many years ago before Scrum, we had Microsoft Project. We had Gantt charts, and they didn't work. And then we moved to Scrum and nice little iterations. Well, I'm having some deja vu here. this looks like a Gantt chart. Let's open this guy up. And you can see, there's your planning tab that we're used to. We can see our sprint board, and now we have a roadmap. The roadmap is, obviously, you're going to have to put some dates in it. And if you put some dates, and you can see a bit of a view. Now, if you're a Scrum white robe, you will probably say this isn't very Scrum. This is more waterfall-like. That's true. But some of our clients have ticking clocks. And, there is a date where that software is going to turn off because of some legal agreement, and they have to get it done there. So when you're working to a date, it is a very good idea to speak the client's language and put the dates there. This has its place, and can be very handy. Let's have a look down here. Now, we also can view it different ways. If you look at they're changing it from month to quarter to year. You can collapse these views on the left and see what is needed. So you can zoom in and out as much as you want. There's more and more and more, so you can have a look at all that. Okay, next piece of news I want to tell you about is this thing. Now, how many people recognize this Elgato Stream Deck? There are, when we go into the Brisbane office, in our Brisbane office, it's caught on like a little virus. They all like this thing. Now, what is it there for? It's just a series of physical buttons. It's strange. So instead of being on a Teams call and pressing mute, you press a button, a physical button. Some people have wanted to have a whole lot of buttons like end and end call or other ones, but Teams didn't support this, so you were forced to only support hotkeys. Now, the good news and the news here is that Microsoft have announced this Elgato Stream Deck plugin, and that allows you to do heaps and heaps of things. Now, they have there's this little video here. So one example is you have like a reaction. Let's just say that you want a button for a like and a button for a love heart or something. You might just want those physically there. That wasn't supported before, and so having this plugin would allow that. So let's go and have a look at this. I'll play just a little bit to give you an idea.
Camera, I'm just going to point right here at this, which is cool. Let's see if I can straighten it out a little bit. There we go. It's kind of hard to see with the lights, but you'll get an idea. There we go. I'm going to hit join here. And what's cool about this is that now that we're in the meeting, that all these little things kind of light up. The lighting is kind of not great, but you kind of get the idea is that these little emotes line up. And when I tap on them, it sends it right into the meeting, which is so cool. Look at that. I can hit mute and you see my mute is there, which is amazing. I can blur my background, which again would be kind of cool. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. I can raise my hand. There we go. And we're so much more. And when I'm done, I just hit the leave button. Bye-bye.
Let's move on to the next piece of news. And this is Teams. Now, Teams is what we spend a lot of our time in. It's a very powerful app and it's free. Okay. Now, Microsoft are going to say, well, actually, if you want to, you can pay. Now, what are they going to charge us for and how much? So let's have a look at this. They're saying we can give you 400 new features and it's going to be for a low cost of $10 per user per month. Okay, what do we get? I'm interested. And now, basically, you get a lot of features, and many of them are AI-powered features. So you can see we all spend a ton of time in our meetings. So what it does is one feature here is called the intelligent recap. So at the end of a meeting, it will tell you, hey, here's the important notes, here's the recommended tasks, here's the highlights of that meeting. So you don't have to attend any meetings anymore. You can just get this intelligent recap, and you'll probably know more about what happened at the meeting than the people that were there that were thinking of their next coffee or whatever. It also has another feature here called AI generated chapters, and it will try to divide a meeting into sections. which, especially if you're using PowerPoint, I guess that makes it much easier. But you'll have your notes in certain chunks. There's another one here called personalized timeline markers. Now, before I tell you about that, because it's very personalized, I know myself when I look back at a meeting, I look at who the attendees were, and I want to maybe ask a question or something. I can't tell who never joined the meeting because I don't want to ask them. I want to ask someone that was in the meeting. I'd like to know who was there for the whole meeting, I guess, but I don't know, and Teams doesn't show it. I always wondered why. When I look at this, I realize it's about privacy. They don't want that tracked, I guess. So I can, if I'm on this premium version, then I can see when I joined and when I left. And that is useful, especially with more and more meetings being recorded. You could watch the bit that you missed and you go, when did I join? And I'll watch the bit before. When did I leave? I'll watch the bit after. So that can be useful. Next piece of news is Gatsby. Now, Gatsby is a tool that we have used. It's a JavaScript template. React uses React. It makes static pages. It's a very, very important tool. If you look at SSW rules or SSW people or many sites we've done, we've used Gatsby. We also use Next.js a lot. Gatsby has been struggling. It's been losing some market share. And we have Next.js is what we've been doing most of our more recent projects on, and that is backed by Vercel. Now, Gatsby being purchased by a big company called Netlify, who kind of have they're kind of a competitor gobbling up a struggling company. Is that good or bad? Well, bad if Netlify don't have good intentions, I guess. Very good for you if you think positively and say, all right, so, Netlify have got themselves a good asset here. They want, customers are going to feel a bit more secure knowing that they're backed by a big company now. Okay, next piece of news. When you do a commit, there's pull request, there's we squash something, we rebase something. This little tool can generate a little GIF to show you what happened. It also can generate let's have a look at this. Let's go back here. You can also generate a animated GIF. So you can see what's going on here with this change. And there you go. And this might be very good for learning. Maybe peers will incorporate this into the Fire Bootcamp. Yeah, it might be a very good learning little tool. Okay, cool. Next piece of news I want to tell you about is search. Now, in the Microsoft stack, we get a lot of information about what users are doing. We now have search stats. Thank goodness. That's awesome. So this blue line is, queries. So queries are being made Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then not on the weekend, etc. And what's the purple line? That's when somebody clicks on a result in a query. So you get to see this. Now, this is all pretty good. Let's just see if there's anything else. Okay, so this covers, it will tell you who's using Bing and Office and SharePoint, etc. I will just switch over just to show you so you know what we're talking about there. So this is Bing. Now you can search Bing and I can search Adam Cogan and I will see a result here before my real results. The next piece of news I just want to call out is the SharePoint Framework. Now that's also known as SPFX, and historically we built add-ins for SharePoint a lot. And now we're building them for Teams because people are living in Teams and they really want those apps in there. And I expect more and more customers are going to want this for Viva. And the last piece of news I'm going to finish with, I always like to finish with something fun. We now have tabs in Notepad. So if you ever feel bad, if your client ever makes you feel bad that you're slow on delivering features, well, there's no need. Just remind them that it took them over 25 years to give us tabs in Notepad. In fact, it wasn't until the last version, I think it saved automatically. So I hope this was the good news of the month. If I missed something, please put it in the comments because I like to learn. If I got anything wrong, throw it down there in the comments. We've got heaps and heaps of videos on SSW TV, and I hope you enjoy them. And I will see you next month for the SSW Tech News. Cheers.